What is going on, my family? Your boy Demetrius is back with another video, and this video is going to be kind of interesting because it seems to be some type of roar going on in the FGC. Of course, it's the FGC, so you know it's going to have something to do with community wars and this game versus that game. So you know how it is. You know, we went through this a few years ago when Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown was released, and then most of the Tekken people were getting all in their feelings and shit when a new Virtua Fighter game came out and shit like that. So here it is again, happening again with Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6. But before we get into it, first of all, I got to shout out to all of my subscribers, all of my viewers for the last video that I did on Mortal Kombat 1, and every video in general. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank y'all for watching and putting in y'all comments, giving y'all opinions and stuff like that. And that really does mean a lot to me. I really do appreciate it because Jesus Christ knows I work hard when it comes to this YouTube shit and it comes to this gaming shit, because I love both, and I'm glad that I can put both together when it comes to YouTube and share it with everybody else. And I really appreciate all of you for coming out and giving y'all comments and all of that. And hopefully we can keep this ball rolling. Everybody knows I haven't really been happy with what's going on with YouTube and the whole niche and algorithm myth bullshit, but I just try my best to ignore it and just to keep doing what I've been doing. You feel what I'm saying? So I just wanted to stop and say shout out to all of my subscribers. And I've said this before, I don't see y'all as subscribers. I see y'all as my family, because every video starts, I see y'all as my family because we all in this together like a family. So I appreciate that from everyone. But now, the last 24 hours or so, pretty much ever since the Mortal Kombat 1 trailer has been announced, we got the whole, I guess you could say, community wars things when it comes to fighting games and these fighting game communities. Now there seems to be some back and forth shit between the Mortal Kombat community and the Street Fighter community. I guess you could say the Mortal Kombat / NRS community, or however you want to say it. There's a little back and forth going on there. And I watched the video from Ernesto Lopez, aka Button Check. I'm gonna leave the video that he made in the comment section. I'm gonna pin it in the comment section, because the reason for it is because he's got all of the tweet proof and all of that, like all the tweet images and stuff that what I'm about to explain, he has that in his video, because I really didn't have the time to be doing all of that, putting tweets together and all of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he has all of the tweet proof in his videos when it comes to views and what other people were saying. So he has that in the video, and I'm gonna put his video in the pinned comment section below. So the thing is, I guess that after what happened with Mortal Kombat 11, a lot of people kind of feel like, okay, don't nobody really give two fucks about Mortal Kombat anymore. Now, people have expressed their feelings that there have been people that have said that they have given up on Mortal Kombat. They're giving up on NRS, and that's fine. I've expressed my opinions. When it comes to NRS, I don't like the way that they do things. I don't like their whole support a game for 2 years and then just throw the game away like it was a dirty sock. I don't like that NRS does that. I just kind of feel like it's just lazy and just really stupid. And it just kind of seems like it really is just a cash cow kind of thing with them. But that's how it is when it comes to these gaming developers, man. It's just some real bullshit going on with all of them. You feel what I'm saying? And so people have expressed their opinions on Mortal Kombat, and as soon as Mortal Kombat gets shown, the hype is there, and rightfully so. It's like that for every fighting game. It was like that for Street Fighter 6. But the thing about it is, people are looking at it like with Street Fighter 6 over the last 10 months. Street Fighter 6 and the content, Mortal Kombat, just in 24 hours or 48 hours, however you want to say it, has gotten more hype, more views, and more attraction than Street Fighter 6 in 48 to 24 hours than Street Fighter 6 has in 10 months. And with when Ernesto Lopez showed it, and it was just the absolute facts. That's just what it is. And I kind of feel like there's a reason for that. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video today, because I really think it's all historical. I don't think you can go back 5 or 6 years and basically give your answer. There's a lot of reasons why Mortal Kombat gained so much hype. There's a lot of reasons why it would seem like Mortal Kombat, like people prefer Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter. There's a lot of reasons for that. I'm one of those people. I have gone on record by saying I do prefer Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter. I have gone on record by saying that. I'm not afraid to say it. I do prefer Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter. I do like Mortal Kombat better than Street Fighter. I do. Back in the day when I was a child, me, my brothers, our friends, we played both games and we played them hard to death. You know, but at the end of the day, Mortal Kombat was my game. Before Virtua Fighter came out, Mortal Kombat was my game. I sleep, eat, and drank Mortal Kombat, for real. So even though I was still playing Street Fighter, I was playing Street Fighter like crazy. You know, the 60,000 versions of Street Fighter 2, we was all playing them like crazy, and we all bought them. You know, and the Mortal Kombat original trilogy, we all played them like crazy. But I've always preferred Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter. That's just me. You know, there's people that prefer Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter. There's people that prefer Street Fighter over Mortal Kombat. It's just that simple. And one of the things that we can't really do, we can't really question why someone prefers a fighting game over a fighting game. We can't do that. And I would never do that to anyone. You know, even if it's a game that I love so much and I'm trying to get you to play the game, if you like another game better, I would never judge no one off of that. And I would never question why you like that fighting game better, you know, because if you pay attention to my channel, the top 2 fighting games that I like to play from a competitive standpoint is Virtua Fighter and Tekken. And for those of y'all who have been following me for so long, y'all already know, of course, I've been saying it. Virtua Fighter is my favorite video game of all time. When Virtua Fighter came out, it automatically became my favorite fighting game and my favorite video game of all time. But as I said, but before Virtua Fighter, Mortal Kombat was my game. And of course, the other game that I play is Tekken and Tekken 7. And I have people that follow me that are Tekken fans and people are Virtua Fighter fans or both. And I've had people tell me, I've had my followers tell me, I prefer Tekken over Virtua Fighter. I prefer Virtua Fighter over Tekken. And not one time have I ever questioned any of my followers that, why do you prefer this game over that game? I've never done that, and I will never ever do that. I will never ever do that. That's like somebody telling somebody, why do you prefer this type of woman over that woman? Like, that's not how you do it. I would never do that. So if somebody prefers this fighting game over that fighting game, you know, that's them. That's their choice. And I would never question that. And I would never try to persuade their decision on why they like that fighting game or the other fighting game. But having said that, we still have the wars when it comes to these fighting games in the FGC. That is never going to stop. And like I said, Ernesto Lopez had it in his video. He had the tweets, the back and forth between Street Fighter people, Mortal Kombat people, and all of that. I kind of felt like that was just too much work for me to be doing. So like I said, and y'all can watch his video, so that kind of will prove my argument and what I'm about to talk about when it comes to this. And the main thing I want to talk about is why. Why does Mortal Kombat always seem to be the game to receive the most hype, most attractiveness? Clearly, more people play it because it sells more. It always sells more than Street Fighter. Not just Street Fighter, but Tekken too. But if you look at this grid, Mortal Kombat is in the lead, and it's in the lead. It has a healthy lead. Like 70 million units sold all together, and like Street Fighter down there and 49 and Tekken. So Mortal Kombat has a huge lead over Street Fighter and Tekken both. So when the NRS community has a point there, because the proof is in the pudding right here. I had to put the proof up right there. Mortal Kombat is blowing both games out in terms of sales, despite the fact that Tekken is kind of like, I don't know, Tekken is kind of like, and you know, it's very strange what happens with Tekken. Like sometimes Tekken is so popular to the point where even if a Tekken game doesn't sell well, you know, Bandai Namco just does such a good job at, you know, keeping it in the promotion ring. You feel what I'm saying? But we got to keep it all the way real. I love Tekken so much. I really do. But I didn't like all Tekken games. All Tekken games were not great games, despite the fact, you know, what many people may say. So that's the thing with Tekken. All Tekken games weren't great games. Tekken Tag Tournament 2 being one of them. Tekken 4 was not a great game. But yeah, Mortal Kombat, clear, healthy lead over both Street Fighter and Tekken. Why is that? Well, like I said, I prefer Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter. So from myself, I can tell you why I prefer it. Now, like I said before, I can't speak for everybody because I don't have the same view as everybody. I don't have the same, you know, reasonings are different. But I can hypothesize, you know, why most people prefer Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter, because there is some unknown motherfucker out there that is feeling the same way that I'm feeling, even though they will probably never say it, and we probably would never know who that person is. You feel me? So we're gonna start with one thing. So why does it seem like Mortal Kombat always has this, you know, always has the bigger appeal over Street Fighter in terms of whatever? And like I said, the sales is right here. It clearly sells better than Street Fighter. Well, I personally think is the lore. Now, when it comes to lore, when it comes to story, nothing touches Mortal Kombat. Like, Mortal Kombat just has one of the greatest stories, one of the greatest gaming stories ever, one of the greatest gaming lores ever. Like, Mortal Kombat, one of the things, if you notice about Mortal Kombat, when people start talking about Mortal Kombat, it's hard to stop talking about it. It's hard to stop talking about the story. It's hard to stop talking about where characters come from, backstories, lores, connections between characters. It is so hard to stop talking about Mortal Kombat when it comes to the story and lore. And people love that shit. I love it. I mean, go back to the last video I just did about Mortal Kombat 1, how we were all having conversations about the lore, the backstory, the original Takeda. Nothing touches Mortal Kombat when it comes to story and lore. Mortal Kombat wins out over any game. It wins out over Street Fighter in terms of story and lore. It definitely beats Tekken, because I'm going to keep it all the way real. I love Tekken to death. But many people are tired of the whole tree branch Mishima story. We're tired of it. And that's another thing that I'm going to get to. One thing about Street Fighter, I've always thought Street Fighter truly, honestly does not really have a story. And if it does, it's not a very deep one. I know Street Fighter got the whole Shadow Lu thing. But outside of that, Street Fighter really doesn't have too much of a story. Now, one thing that Street Fighter does do well, Street Fighter does improvise well when it comes to the character lores and the character backstudy. And what I mean is like, okay, Sometimes, like I said, Street Fighter story can be very lackluster, but you got a character like Chun-Li who has an excellent backstory. She's a cop, she learns kung fu from her father, and at one point she wanted to get back at Shadaloo for her father's demise. So you got that. Street Fighter does do a better job. Street Fighter does do a good job with their characters as far as their character backstory. But the overall Street Fighter story, with Street Fighter, the lore has always been lackluster to me. Outside of Shadaloo, what is there when it comes to Street Fighter? Everything else is pretty much kind of fabricated. Mortal Kombat, just nothing touches Mortal Kombat's story and lore. Just absolutely nothing. Just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Everybody knows it. Nothing touches Mortal Kombat when it comes to story and lore. And another thing with Street Fighter, I gotta say this is not a video to down Street Fighter 6 or Street Fighter. It's just what's been going on in the FGC is Mortal Kombat is kind of the main emphasis of the topic. So, there. And like I said, I prefer Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter. So one thing I do notice about Street Fighter, so another thing that I feel that Mortal Kombat does is, like I said, Street Fighter does a great job with it as well, but Mortal Kombat just does a more masterful job. And that is, even though Mortal Kombat, NetherRealm, they have a tendency to shove certain characters down our throats, like Liu Kang, like a Devora. They shove those characters down our throats. But Mortal Kombat does a great job at really making so many of their characters as deep as possible, to the point where even though the character may not be the main character of that current Mortal Kombat game or story, they're going to have a significant impact. Their story is going to have a significant impact, even though they're not the main character. And then, of course, you have the violent aspect of the game. People love the violence, the blood, and the gore of Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat totally transcended gaming with its violence and its gore and its blood. It took gaming to a whole different level. Mortal Kombat was so controversial back then. It was to the point they were almost thinking about taking it off the shelves. That and a couple of other games like Night Trap and shit, Mortal Kombat was in that category. They were really that close from taking Mortal Kombat off the shelves. Mortal Kombat took it to a whole nother level. That's where they start rating video games. Mortal Kombat is the reason why they start rating video games. MA13, MA17. I know y'all remember that shit. Mature audiences. I know y'all remember that shit. Mortal Kombat started that all. So Mortal Kombat, I think, even though Street Fighter 2 started it all as far as revolutionizing the genre, Mortal Kombat just took it to a whole nother level. The rating system, the blood, the gore, the controversy, they took it to a whole nother level. Mortal Kombat's impact is just crazy. Crazy impact on gaming. And the violence is the big part of that. And the thing about it is, a lot of people are like, well, Street Fighter doesn't have to be violent. Well, that's the style of Street Fighter. I mean, Street Fighter, you're right. Street Fighter doesn't have to be violent. But Street Fighter has always had that style where they can just be, kind of like a composure fighting game. Now, Street Fighter in past Street Fighter games has had blood and all of that. Now, back Street Fighter 2 had blood, or people would say it's throw up. A lot of people call it vomit, but I thought it was blood, honestly. So Street Fighter had blood back then, but it wasn't the impact of Mortal Kombat. Sure, you feel what I'm saying? But Street Fighter had blood. But that's just not, the whole big violent thing. That's just not Street Fighter style. And another thing, before Mortal Kombat 11, and this is another reason why a lot of people prefer Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter. Mortal Kombat was just one of those games before Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat was one of those games where you turn on the console, you pick up the controller, and you just play. You did not have to worry about no meter. You didn't have to worry about no EX cancel and all of that stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Mortal Kombat was not about that. Mortal Kombat, you pick up the controller and you play, you do your special moves, you do your combos, finish him, fatality, there you go. That's another reason why people would probably prefer Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter. The simplicity of it. You know, not having to worry about all of the extra features and the extra systems inside of the game. Now, see, when Mortal Kombat 11 came out, see, that's where Mortal Kombat 11 caught a lot of people off guard. You had to worry about that meter, that broken ass meter, flawless block, all that bullshit, the cancel, that cancel bullshit. I always thought that shit was cheating. Just basically cancel out of the air, and that person loses their combo situation. All of that shit. MK11, that's where MK11 really just lost people. All of those extra features inside of the game, when Mortal Kombat was never about that. Mortal Kombat was just to pick it up and go. Now, a lot of people would be like, well, you know, that ain't no skill. Mortal Kombat don't take no skill. I'm going to tell y'all something. The early Mortal Kombat games, like the Mortal Kombat trilogy games, those games took mental skill. They took mental skill because you know why? If you didn't time your uppercuts, if you didn't time your throws, if you didn't time your roundhouse kicks, your ass was going to get jump kicked to death, or you was going to get foot swept to death if you didn't know how to time. That was the skill when it came to those early Mortal Kombat games. You had to have perfect timing because you had to learn how to time your uppercuts. You had to learn how to time your roundhouse kicks. Yeah, you had to do that or a motherfucker gonna jump kick you to death. For real. You know, and it felt good once you timed that uppercut on a jump kick. You see your opponent go out of the screen and you hear Shao Kahn in the background. Outstanding. Yeah, so that shit took skill to me. It took skill because we already know how they was doing in the Mortal Kombat arcades. You would have an asshole come up there and try to foot sweep you to death. But then when you block that motherfucker and uppercut them, they didn't know what to do after that. So yeah, those early Mortal Kombat games took skill. Now, when it comes to the 3D era, I don't really know because I didn't play all of the 3D Mortal Kombat games. You know, Mortal Kombat Armageddon was probably the one I least played, but like Deadly Alliance and Deception, you know, I played the hell out of them. But Armageddon, I didn't really fuck with Mortal Kombat Armageddon like that. You know, it was just, you know, I played it, but you know, but those early Mortal Kombat games, they took skill. And that's another thing too. Like I just explained, Mortal Kombat, the simplicity of it. People love the simplicity of Mortal Kombat. And I hope Mortal Kombat 1, we don't got to deal with all that flawless block bullshit. We just want to pick up the game and fight. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want no meter in Mortal Kombat 1. I really don't. They're probably going to put one in because every single fighting game now has one damn near. But I don't want none of that meter shit in Mortal Kombat. I really don't. I just want to fight. I just want to fight, do my shit, get my finishing move in, and there we go. You know? So that's why I said I hope Mortal Kombat 1 is kind of like MKX. I hope they make it like that, because MKX, the system was fun. It really was, and it was fast, man. MKX was so fast and fluid. It was beautiful. I hope it's like that. A lot of people want it to be like MK9. I'm cool with that too, but I kind of prefer MKX just because it was just a little bit more fast and fluid, you know. And last but not least, and this is going to be the most important reason, and this is something that no one is not going to tell y'all. Y'all are only going to hear this from me, and I'm probably going to get flack from saying it. One of the main reasons why people prefer Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter is kind of obvious to a certain extent. But like I said, I think people are kind of scared to say it. Is that there is some patriotism when it comes to Mortal Kombat. And I'm going to explain what I mean. Mortal Kombat is an American developed game. Street Fighter is Japanese. Tekken is Japanese. You know, Samurai Showdown, Fatal Fury, all those games are Japanese games. Okay? There's only less than a handful of American developed fighting games that I can think of worth mentioning. And Mortal Kombat is one of them. As a matter of fact, Mortal Kombat is the top of the crop. Mortal Kombat is probably the best American made fighting game ever. And it's going to be, because we ain't going to get no new American fighting game. And there's only less than a handful of American fighting games historically out there. And that's Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, Eternal Champions, and Primal Rage. Those are the only 4 I can think of. There's a couple of other ones out there, but they're not worth mentioning because they suck. Mortal Kombat is an American-based fighting game. Not only that, it is a super successful American-based fighting game. I just showed y'all the grid. Mortal Kombat is in the lead. So there is some patriotism when it comes to Mortal Kombat. A lot of American fighting game players, or even American gamers, they play Mortal Kombat because of that. And all of those other fighting games are Japanese. You feel what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people may disagree with that, but I'm going to tell y'all something. That is one of the main reasons why people prefer or support Mortal Kombat over games like a Street Fighter, like a Tekken, like a Samurai Showdown. Because it's an American developed game. And there is some patriotism. There's a lot of patriotism involved. And it ain't nothing wrong with that. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Not in my eye. But that reason right there, that is not my main reason for preferring Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter. It's not because of the patriotism. The patriotism is not my reason for preferring Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter. It's more what I've mentioned before it. You know, the simplicity, the violence, the character lores, and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But make no mistake about it. The patriotism when it comes to Mortal Kombat is real, and it is what a lot of people feel about Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter and all of those other Japanese games. It's real. We gotta keep it real. It's real. And like I said, ain't nobody else gonna tell you this shit. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. You know, the patriotism, that's really underlooked when it comes to Mortal Kombat. It's real. And like I said, this was not about putting down Street Fighter or Street Fighter 6. That's not what I was doing at all. You know, this was a real true talk because, like I said, I prefer Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter, and I like Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter. Like I said, when you check out Ernesto Lopez's video, and, you know, he shows the tweets of Street Fighter players and Mortal Kombat players going back and forth because it's a passion thing. And probably a lot of those players probably like both games, just like I do. But, you know, there's always going to be that, you know, preference over the other. And, you know, hey, it's the FGC. It's going to happen. And it's not going to stop. So, like I said, I like Street Fighter. I don't love Street Fighter anymore. I got to keep that all the way real. When Street Fighter 4, I absolutely loved it. Then Street Fighter 5, it was just like, you know, I kind of, you know, backed away from Street Fighter. But I still like Street Fighter from a historical standpoint. I have great Street Fighter moments. I grew up with Street Fighter just like I grew up with Mortal Kombat and Virtua Fighter and Tekken, Fatal Fury, and shit, a lot of other fighting games. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like I said, it's a preference. I'm just one of those people. I do like Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter. And some people may not like that. I understand that. I get it. I understand that it's okay. You know, that's nobody's fault. And in the tweets that Ernesto Lopez shown, I'm not blaming anybody. Nobody is right. Nobody is wrong. It's just the passion of it. You know, you had your Mortal Kombat / NRS people saying this, your Capcom Street Fighter people saying that. Oh, but no one is saying anything wrong. No one is doing anything wrong. It's just a passion thing. It's a preference thing. And that's why I wanted to come on here and talk about. You feel what I'm saying? It's not to down the other game. I don't think that's what people are really doing. And I kind of feel like that's what a lot of people that are viewing this from their phones or whatever That's how they're viewing it. Like, because someone is saying something about a Mortal Kombat person saying something about Street Fighter is because they're trying to bash it. That's not necessarily what's going on. It's just a passion thing because those people just are loyal to that game, even though they probably like both games. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I wanted to come over here and talk about. And the reasons that I just gave y'all, or what a lot of these Mortal Kombat players are thinking, that even though Street Fighter does do a lot of things better than Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter does a lot of things better than Mortal Kombat. You know what I'm saying? I think Street Fighter, they do a better job at polishing their games, because sometimes a lot of these NRS games, they do be a little bit unfinished. Like Street Fighter 5 was unfinished, but you know, historically the Street Fighter games are, you know, more polished. You feel what I'm saying? Balancing, you know, I would have to give it to Street Fighter to a certain extent, but historically Mortal Kombat has done a good job at balancing. You know, it's just like I said, MK11 was just that game where they just, I guess they just wanted to try too much shit, and a lot of it just didn't work out. You feel what I'm saying? So hopefully with Mortal Kombat 1, they go back to the basics. You know what I'm saying? But shit, damn, I really don't even know how to conclude this video. That was just some real talk. That was damn near like some fighting game Bible talk right there. For real. Shit. But shit. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section about this controversy that's going on. And I know a lot of y'all be on Twitter. Y'all probably came across it. You know, this whole Mortal Kombat 1 versus Street Fighter 6 and the controversy. I just wanted to come on here and just kind of shed some light on why controversies like these go down the way that they do, because these people prefer this game over that game. And it's not necessarily because they don't like the other game. It's just because, you know, they're loyal to that game. You feel what I'm saying? But as I said before, I'm a fighting game guy through and through. You know, there's some fighting games I love, some fighting games I like. Like I said, I don't love Street Fighter like that, but I do like Street Fighter. And another thing too, like I said, Virtua Fighter and Tekken, those two games, I love those games, and I love those games to the point where I'm competitive in those games. Those are the games that I would actually go to an offline event and play in. I don't see neither Mortal Kombat nor Street Fighter in that manner. I don't see them in a competitive manner. Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, they just don't captivate me from a competitive standpoint. If I were to go to an offline event, I would not go to play Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. That's just, I don't see those two games in a competitive light like I do Virtua Fighter and Tekken. So I wanted to just put that out there too. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section about the controversy. Just, you know, give me some thoughts about Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. Which game do y'all prefer, and why do you know, what is the reasons why do y'all prefer it? Like I said, you know, y'all put y'all reasons in the comment section. I will not judge y'all. You know, I don't do that. I don't do that. No judgment, no persuasion. I just, you know, I just want to know, because it's a passion thing, and that's what it's all about. So, you know, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for more of this real talk shit. Like I said, I got classic Mortal Kombat 1, even though they're called Mortal Kombat 12 videos, because, you know, I've been doing the videos for the last year and a half, and I got some classic Street Fighter 6 videos. I ain't got nothing but classic fire ass shit over here. So make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, because I'm going to tell y'all something. Even though, you know, YouTube is fucking with me right now, I got the shit over here, for real. So make sure y'all do that. Make sure y'all stay safe. My name is Demetrius. I am out. God bless. Peace.